This is the YouTube edition of my book, A Course in Miracles Workbook Nuggets, which is a study aid for the course's workbook for students. I'll begin by reading my book's commentary on today's lesson over a visual of the book's text. I'll then return with some further thoughts on the lesson, which are only included in this YouTube edition of my book. Today's lesson is part of a 10-lesson group that runs from lesson 281 through 290, each of which relates to the Holy Spirit as understood in the course. I'll be repeating the same introduction for each of lessons 281 through 290, so you can skip past this introduction in the future if you like. Timestamps taking you directly to today's Workbook Nuggets commentary and my further comments are provided in the description below. In the section entitled, What is the Holy Spirit?, which precedes these 10 lessons, we are told that, quote, the Holy Spirit mediates between illusions and the truth. The goal the Holy Spirit's teaching sets is just this end of dreams. For sights and sounds must be translated from the witnesses of fear to those of love. End quote. We are further told that, quote, the Holy Spirit is God's gift by which the quietness of heaven is restored to God's beloved Son, end quote. Today's lesson from my book and my further thoughts, which are also only contained in this YouTube edition of my book, follow. A link to the book on Amazon.com is provided below. Lesson number 283, October 10. My true identity abides in you. Again, we are told that we remain as God created us. When I was beginning my adult life and not yet on my spiritual journey, I had an initial, if worldly, insight into this central course idea. I somehow knew that it would be helpful or significant to make it a habit each year on my birthday to choose 3 words that described who I was. I recall that for many years, just about every word I chose revolved around my job and career. At that point in my life, that was who I thought I was. I derived my meaning, my sense of self-worth, and my security from my career. I long ago abandoned this yearly ritual, but if I were to do so today, I would not need 3 words. I would simply write that I am as God created me. The title of today's lesson is, My True Identity Abides in You. If only we could remember and really mean that our true identity abides in God, our work would be done. There would be no further need for the course. But it is just so hard to see past the illusion that I am this separate self and consciousness looking out on a world of separate people and things. Despite the lesson telling us of our true identity and that it abides in God, I still think that I'm me. But is it so hard to believe that our senses are not telling us the whole story? All of us and everything we see, or could see, is part of an infinitely complex web, a single entity which we call the cosmos or the universe. For example, you were born of parents, exist in a nation, and purchase your food, clothing, and everything else from others who do the same. Even on these most basic levels, it is clear that no man or woman is an island. This web includes all that exists, as contrasted with nothingness. All that exists is alike in this respect. This gives us just the barest glimpse that all that exists is related and similar in some indescribable way. Our sense of independence and separateness is illusion. And it is this sense of an independent self and will and ego that we are attempting to see beyond. As the lesson tells us, our true identity abides in God, the One.